All right. So for those who do not know, I have here with me the first person who trusted me and put me out there to talk publicly about sex. So we have DJ Tony Toni
Good
of
evening.
Boys Night Out. How long has it been since Boys Night Out started?
We're doing 18 years.
18
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
Legal na yung anak nyo.
Yeah, it's the longest relationship I've had.
Oh, we'll get to that. We will get to that later. But DJ Tony Toni is known as the bad boy of radio, the ultimate bad boy of radio. And how were you known as that? Like, how did that happen?
Well, I think with the characters on the show, you have Slick Rick, you have Sam YG, and our newest addition, Gino Killiamore. I think when we first started, we were all single. So Sam got into a relationship early into the show, which didn't last. Slick is the boy next door. He's always been the boy next door, his image. So I guess the Bachelor or the so-called bad boy was left with me. And I took it to heart, and until now, hindi na bad boy, baboy na.
Pero bachelor pa rin.
Bachelor pa rin.
Bachelor pa rin. Parang through all these years, we're not gonna tell everyone your age, but through all these years, you remained single, right?
Yes, yes.
And how is sex life as a single man?
I think it's been it's in phases. I think for me to be single for so long and to be a very colorful, I call it colorful, lifestyle. I think it goes in through phases. So when you're younger, when I first started, it's quantity. And over the years, you kind of have a certain kind of, I guess, a filter. You have qualities that you look for. And so they become like a sort of a template. And you kind of also have to be responsible. Kasi bata ka pa, pwede ka,
Kahit sino.
kahit sino, pwede. And as you get older, I think you have to be more accountable with who you sleep with and what kind of drama
You want to have.
brings to the table with who you're sleeping with. Kasi tao din yan eh. Each person has emotions, has feelings, and not everyone is on the same page as me. Everyone will say, okay, no commitment, but then when they get into something like ang tawag ngayon, situationship.
Situationship, yeah.
Dati, mag-on or casually dating, right? Which also is known now. Now it's more difficult kasi Manila's too small to just sleep with everyone and anyone.
Manila's too small. Pero alam mo, we also have a show together, DJ Tony Toni and I. It's the Sexy Minds podcast. And I was on their show at Boys Night Out for a good 4 years, since 2016. And because of that, I heard a lot of stories about you and your sex life and how you go out there. And being that Manila is so small, parang magkakakilala nga sila eh, di ba?
Either before, I've obviously you meet new friends. So sometimes hindi pa sila makilala. It's only after I've slept with one or I slept with another, and then they became friends.
Parang ikaw yung common denominator. Oh, you slept with Tony Toni.
It happens. Maliit ang Manila eh. Or it just so happens, which is rare, that one party talks about me and then I happen to meet one of those people in the same group and it just clicks. I think with me, the common denominator with all of them and how I am, silent is the way to go. Discreet. Hindi yun, some guys like to talk and share. I think on the one of the rules sa Boys Night Out, don't ask, don't tell. So hindi kami nagpapakailaman ng kung sinong dinidate, ano nangyayari, how's the sex life, how is she. We have a respect na, considering we're Boys Night Out, we're like brothers. Hindi kami nag-share. And I think it's better that way. Kasi if we did share, I think magiging bala yan sa show. Di ba?
So it will be used against you.
Yeah. So unless the other party talks to one of the guys. I mean, nangyayari yan eh.
Oh, may nangyari na yun sa'yo. Like that.
Many times. And with Sam and with Slick, bakit ganyan yung barkada mo? Right? They will complain.
About you.
Me,
ano yung bakit
about
ganyan?
Sam, about Slick, depends. But mostly about me because I've been single the longest eh. And what I like about the boys, ganun talaga si Toms eh.
Actually.
Ganyan talaga siya.
That's it. Yeah. Kasi kahit sa akin, dami rin lumapit eh. And asking,
talaga?
Yeah, asking, is he really like that? Parang, hindi ba siya talaga ma-commitment? Wala bang emotion? So, anong sasabihin ko? Parang, wala. Diba? Parang, I can't say anything.
I think I'm able to stay within my boundaries for a very long time. Hindi siya easy na maging bachelor without feeling any emotions. I think if I do feel something, nag-aano na ako.
Nagdi-distance ka na.
Nagdi-distance na. And being physical takes a toll. I can see myself not being as physical or sexually intimate. It happens.
So you're not like, you don't go all out. When you start feeling something for this person, that's what hinders you to have a really good sexual experience.
It's mostly, I would have to say majority of the time, it's the other party that will, because women have emotions. Di ba, mga Pinay, they, at the end of the day, as much as they say they want to be single, they want to be no strings attached, at the end of the day, pag mahaba yung
relationship yun.
situationship, isa sa kami mag-feel eh. Either matindi yan or gradually it evolves. And I have to set my boundaries. So I kind of drift apart na.
What's the boundary for?
I think you can tell. I can tell if someone feels
and you don't reciprocate?
I don't reciprocate. Or they start asking questions.
Like, what do they ask?
Obviously, where are you? Who you with? What's up? And obviously, if I say I'm busy or I don't reply, you'll get continuous texts, and then you'll feel there's a tension, whether text lang or in person. There's some tension. I can feel it. I'm very intuitive naman eh. Alam mo pag may tampuhan or there's a feeling of questioning from the person's body language. Body language mo lang, I can already tell na, oh, there's something that you want to ask me, but you're afraid to ask me.
Ganun ka na train dahil sa dami.
Well, I have to be also mindful eh, kasi not everyone is like me.
What is that? What is you? What is Tony Toni?
I think I'm just happy being single and being a serial dater, as they call it, or basta bachelor. I think before, it was great with the physical aspect. Being single, you can be with anyone. Over the years, I think I just enjoy my time alone. Some days I want to have companionship, but majority of the time, gusto ko sa bahay ko mag-isa. I like traveling alone. I don't know, I think I got hooked on just being single and enjoying life, which is scary. But other people tell me, hindi mo lang nahanap yung katapat mo. Which, if it happens, it happens. I'm not closing that door, but my priority is myself. I'm very selfish with me time, with going out.
Oh yeah.
My schedule is quite not conducive to a relationship. So I do radio, boys night out. Then I go to nightlife industry ako eh. Sa bars and clubs. So, biro mo, pakatapos ng radyo, mga 7:38, labas na ako. And I go out 3, 4, 5 times a week. Do you really think being in a relationship, someone will understand why I enjoy being out more than I enjoy being home? Alam mo yon? After a while, mako-question na yun whoever you're with. Even if a girl was in the industry, I think the partner, the boyfriend would also question, why are you always out? Or when you have free time, why don't you spend it with me?
So, nangyari na ba yun sa'yo? Has it ever happened to you? Like you were in a relationship and you were doing boys night out. You had to go out and someone had to question you, like, why weren't you spending time with me?
I think it's more of, do you really need to go out? It wasn't really a relationship. It was more of a companionship. And I felt bad because even though you have this person that you see eye to eye with, you have great conversations, you sort of see intellectually stimulating, but there's a part of me that wants my freedom to do what I want, when I want, whenever I want. And I don't think that's fair to being with someone. Especially if I become officially with someone or have a girlfriend, I think it's very hard to defend myself if I go out 4 or 5 times a night. And the show that I do is not your regular radio program. It's not toxic masculinity, but it's on the border of it.
Oh yeah, before you were.
We were toxic, yes, we were definitely toxic. There's toxic masculinity when we were younger. I think we were in our 20s, definitely. We were super out there.
You had a lot of cases filed against you.
Yeah, we were suspended for a couple months. The KBP put a sanction on us, and we had to regroup from our 9 to 12 show, 9 p.m. to 12 midnight, and then we went 6 to 10, and we had to tame it. So we got rid of the confession session, the radio tabloid, the sex letters. We got rid of a lot of the guestings that obviously were malaswa, as they call it. But we were trying to be the shock jocks of the Philippines. We were young, we were not dumb, but we were horny, right? So you put 3 guys together, and then
3 horny guys together.
Yeah, we're gonna create ruckus, and I think every college, high school student can resonate with us, especially the old boys, because there wasn't yet the internet in terms of content. Walang Instagram, walang Facebook, walang YouTube. So 2006, we were the only show to listen to that had our ratings or our content. We were PG-18. Even, I think we were R nga eh. So, we made our mark, and some people still listen to us, even though we're sort of tame. Actually, we're very tame. 2 guys are married, and it's a different dynamic na. Which, okay lang. I mean, people change, and we work around it. So it's good.
You said you're like two guys are married, you're still single. Don't you ever look at them and say, okay, maybe I should find a partner too?
I think that happened in 2000, maybe 10, 11, when things are going really well for us. The peak of I think our peak was 2009, 10, 11. And I was like, what's next? Ano ba susunod nito? And you kind of want to tiptoe and try and date and see. And then you realize your priorities that I remember this one artista, celebrity, female, had asked me, I hope you're not married to your profession, because if you are, there are people that you meet that are going to be passing you by that are great to
Partners,
be with.
yeah.
And you might be passing on someone fantastic, and one day your job won't be there.
Makes sense.
And I took that to heart. It was Giselle Tonji, and she was, Tones, I've known you forever, and you've done it. You've made Boys Night Out a household name. You guys have your individual careers outside. Don't you think it's time to grow up? Ayoko pa eh. I feel like radio or Boys Night Out, I feel like Peter Pan. I feel like it's my Disney World, Disneyland for me. It keeps me young, keeps me, I guess, on my toes. I still enjoy coming in every day. Kahit pandemic nga, nag-board ako eh. Even though I was overseas, I still woke up 3 a.m. for the show, and I still get up and I still enjoy doing it. It's just a matter of, I guess, being comfortable with being single. I think solidarity for me is sort of, I found my happiness in it. And a lot of people would think otherwise. Ang dami natin dito sa Pinas na baka may problema ka kasi single ka for forever. And for me, one of my yoga practitioners told me na single people for a very long time are more emotionally and intellectually mature. So there's nothing wrong. Okay lang. And I always took that also and what G said, and I said everyone has their path, their marathon ang tawag eh. Ako, mukhang mahaba yung marathon ko eh. To be with someone, I think. And so my end goal isn't about finding someone. It's about, I guess, my journey is about knowing more about myself and being single. And I think if more people enjoy being single, what more happiness they can be when they do meet someone that's also on the same page as me. And so that's the way I look at it. Maybe I haven't met the person, or maybe it's not time yet. Kung sino to? Vic Soto, who's pushing 70 plus, met Pauline Luna. Maybe for myself, I haven't met that person yet. Kung sino to? 80 years old, bagong kasal din. I forgot who, the owner of, basta may 81-year-old guy na is about to get married or got married. So everyone has their own race, but the pressures of society. I think if you're not secure with yourself, lalabas at lalabas yan. Nanay ko, tatay ko, kapatid ko, may asawa na. So
What did they tell you?
I think they've given up. I think they've given up with asking and probing. Dati, hindi ka bumabata, tumatanda ka. It's always nice to have someone. I said, yeah, it's nice to have someone. But I also said, I don't want to find someone to take care of me. And so, since 2018, I've taken to heart and be more mindful about taking care of myself. So, hindi na ako umiinom. I'm mostly vegetarian, pescatarian. So, things like that. I've become more mindful with how I take care of myself.
So,
Kasi,
parang lifestyle change.
lifestyle change. Ang nag-cut down din ako sa babae din.
Nag-cut down sa babae?
I mean, I'm not...
What?
My libido isn't as... I'm not as attached as before.
How was it before?
It was really...
Like, you were really out there. When you say you're really out there, if we're talking about quantity, sabi mo kanina when you were younger,
Yeah.
it was quantity. Like, quantify it for us. How did it look like?
I would say iba't iba every day of the month for more than I think 20 probably in the early 2000s to 2010.
So different woman every day.
Yeah. Casual, very casual. There would be months na the same person. But ano yan?
Merong iba pa.
Yeah, because
Para kami basketball team.
my
Parang ganon?
appetite medyo mataas siya before. Na, you know what I mean? I was single, living alone. So no rules. I can really say that I'm outliving my bachelorhood. And which is a good thing, I think. Because I think when that time comes, if that time ever comes, I don't think magwawala ako eh. Kasi nagwawala na ako for so many years.
Parang you were able to experience it already.
Yeah.
So parang okay na, I've done everything. I know how it is. I'm not going to look for it ever.
Let's just say I can go through there's a brand. There's a brand of condoms. I think 100 yan. I would maybe twice a year filled yan.
So dalawa, 200 condoms. 100 days lang ang pahinga.
Plus pa yan because I get endorsed by a certain brand.
Yeah.
So plus pa yan. Yeah, I really outlived it. That's why now...
Hindi ka ba napagod? Di ba napagod yung penis mo?
I did. I became more mindful. That's why I told you I slowed down because there was one practitioner who told me that my life force, we all have a certain life force within us. Eh.
And when you
Depleted.
have sex...
When you have sex, your energy gets depleted.
Yeah, you're sharing your energy.
Kinukuha mo yung energy ng isang tao at yung tao na yun, kinukuha yung energy mo. 2009 yun, 2010.
Have you ever had sex with someone na after nun feeling mo, no more na? What's your worst sexual experience?
Maybe it's not the worst. It's just maybe we aren't compatible. Because I don't want to say it's worse because I don't think two people. Well, for me, personally speaking, I think it's because chemistry plays a big role. Because I've been with
a lot of
people. I think you'll meet people who you aren't sexually compatible with, and there are people who aren't experienced, but you're sexually compatible. So it can go either or. And for me, I think that the in the past we weren't sexually compatible. Maybe just the way we are in bed, the positions, hindi nagtutugma.
So parang hindi siya dance, parang may effort into it.
Also a big thing is comfortability. I think even if you are in conversation with a person and it's great, it doesn't translate in the bedroom na magiging magaling.
Of course.
So, I think the number one rule that I've learned is to have a conversation first about sex.
Kala ko meron kang sexual encounters na hindi kayo nag-uusap sex
No,
na
no,
lang.
no.
Oh my gosh.
I think I've learned my lesson over the years na mas maganda ilabas lahat, all your cards about the subject. That way, malalaman mo, is this person experienced? Is this person inexperienced? Is she comfortable? Kung uncomfortable siya, hindi na ako magpaprobe. And then I will know personally na, sige, wag na. Wag na lang. Let's not force it. I'd rather just keep a person as a friend than try out and, oh my God, bad sex. Or we're not compatible. And I think I've done pretty well over the years na to make a person feel comfortable. If not, then okay lang. I mean,
yeah, I've heard a lot of stories again about you on how you treat women and to make them feel comfortable, to the extent that you give them breakfast in bed or you wait outside with flowers, things like that people do not know.
Well, I think at the end of the day, respeto lang. I think I get a bad name for it because one guy put it, the girlfriend experience. He will do everything but become your girlfriend. But the experience will
Pwede
be there.
ka palang escort.
You know what? Dapat i-monetize ko na nga
Diba?
eh. Yeah.
I can be your manager.
You can be,
Right?
yeah. Why not? Why not? I mean, other people in different countries make money out of it, right?
Exactly. If you can give the girlfriend experience in and outside of the bedroom, that's great. But in the bedroom, what do you do to women so that they will feel that they're being, pleasured?
I think it's different for each woman, and it also depends on how comfortable they are. Because each partner is different, eh. But
do you have a move? Do you have a signature Tony move?
I don't know if I have a move, but I enjoy being on top. I enjoy being in control. I enjoy, obviously, if I've had one position to choose, would be doggy. I think doggy, and there's a move called the dolphin that I enjoy.
How's that? Can you explain? Doggy is self-explanatory.
Yeah, doggy
right?
style.
Yeah. But
Obviously.
the dolphin, what happens?
The dolphins is also doggy style position for the female, but it requires a bit of
Maneuver?
I guess core exercises, balancing. The guy has to lift himself off the bed partially at one point.
What? So all the weight is in your penis? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
It can work for petite women because it's easier.
So it's your penis that's lifting the woman? How big is your penis?
You're not lifting. She's still on all fours.
Okay.
Hindi ko binubuhat. I'm elevated. I'm sort of tiptoeing or sliding.
Okay.
It's more of a slide. So it's more of a pulse rather than penetration.
Okay.
So it's a pulsing. You're already inserted and you're pulsing. It's quite difficult. It's a move that I did many years ago and I don't always do it because it takes a lot of work. Dapat in shape ka. I'm not in shape
Yun ba yung mga
anymore.
move mo? Because I also heard that you've been rated, by women. I asked them, so how's the sexual encounter with Tony? Because when they talk to me, I'm just like, okay, so how was it? Kasi I dig deeper, right? And then they say, out of 10, it's 11. Right?
I don't know about that.
So what do
I don't
you
know
do?
where your sources are.
We want to know what you do for you to be rated as 11 out of 10 when it comes to sex.
That 11 is questionable. I think maybe whoever you interviewed I was probably I was having a good day. But I think for all guys to realize that great sex is important, but the conversation before, the act, but then the post.
Kailangan may follow through.
I'm not really a hugger. I'm not really a cuddler. But I think just being with them in conversation after is important.
Nakakailang rounds ka? During your peak, how many rounds?
I don't know. I really don't keep track, but nakakarami din.
Gano'n kadami yung madami?
I don't know.
Mga 4, 5,
You'd have to
6.
interview. You have to interview the. I really don't keep count. I don't even keep track of the partners I've been with.
Of course you can't. That's a lot of people.
Yeah,
right?
but some guys keep a black book. I've never been one to keep a black book, and a lot of them are married now, but they're all moved on and have families. So I don't feel that putting it down on paper. Baka makalabas pa eh. And
you know, I've always wanted to know, and I've always wanted to ask men, like, how does it feel like, ba talaga for you? How does the pleasure feel like when you're having sex? Ano yung feeling?
with different people, I
No,
think it's
with you. Parang when you say pleasurable sex, ano yung nararamdaman mo when the sex is good?
Oh, when the sex is good, I think it's for me, it makes me feel younger. Totoo yun, parang bata ka eh. For me, how I've kept my youth, or I don't know, if people say, how come you're not aging like some other people? When I look at my friends, my kababataan sa mga...
Kababata.
Kababata.
Yeah.
Kababata, lahat sila tumanda na. They're all married with kids. There's only a few that are single fathers. But they all feel old. I feel so youthful, young.
When it's good sex.
When
But
it's
in the
great sex.
body, how do you feel like in the body? Sige, let's start when you're aroused. How does it feel like? How do you know that you are getting aroused with a woman? Na, ay, gusto ko siya.
Well, over the years, syempre bata ka pa, anything makes me aroused when you're young. Babae pa lang, maganda, boom, hard on. Over the years, fast forward to now, I think I have different erogenous zones. Syempre, tumatanda na rin ako eh. So, I have certain zones in my body that need probing, that need
Like your nipples.
arousal, yes.
Uh-huh.
Also, I'm very auditory. So, mas enjoy ko
Pag maingay.
pag maingay yung babae. Kahit Tagalog, English, Japanese, French,
Any language.
African, basta verba or vocal in the bedroom. I
And
enjoy
they
it.
don't even have to say anything. Basta sound. Kailangan.
Sound or words, it can be both. It can be a combination.
Is it moaning or screaming?
Mas grabe yung screaming. Gusto ko yun.
Mas na-arouse ka doon.
Because I'm very auditory, so the more I hear that you're being pleasured, mas gaganahan ako. Yeah. So, whispering, that will get me started. And then, so and so forth, the moaning. And then also, commanding, wanting me, what do you want me to do?
Oh, so you want women to tell you that.
Because I'm sort of, hindi naman ako alpha male eh. I don't think I'm an alpha male, but in the bedroom, gusto ko yung girl magsabi na anong gusto mo sa akin. What do you like? Sige, gagawin ko. In all of my capacity, I'll try to do whatever she wants. And I think that gets me turned on now more. The being vocal,
Yes.
being
confident too.
being confident. Yeah.
And also, being able to scream is a sign of vulnerability and comfort and
Yes.
security with you.
That's why even I tell the person that it's okay to scream because it's soundproof.
Wala namang, soundproof.
My walls are soundproof. And I don't have neighbors. I don't have neighbors.
So you really made it
where my bedroom is situated.
People can scream.
People can scream.
Wala namang murder na nangyayari dun sa loob.
Hindi naman murder yun.
Wala naman. I wanna know. Kasi usually...
May stabbing. Walang duguan.
Minsan may duguan.
Depende yan.
I wanna know, no? Because usually, like, the sexual routines of people or what they want in bed is linked to their first sexual encounter. So, what happened in your first sexual encounter? When was it?
Oh, wow. I think my first sexual encounter, since I was raised in Canada, I think my first sexual encounter was behind the house, dry humping.
Who is this person?
There was two.
Two?
Isang puti, isang itim. Yeah.
So, tatlo kayo dry humping outside of the house. How old were you then?
Ah, man. Ano yung grade school yun eh. So, I think grade 7 ako. So,
you were humping them?
Yeah, against the wall. Yeah. Nakatayo. And, yeah. And then, they would jerk me off.
Mm-hmm.
But, one at a time. So, I would make out with one girl. And then make out with the other girl. But then one girl would want more. So, she's...
So, first sexual encounter mo pa lang, adventure na.
Yeah. I was pretty advanced because my best friend, his mom and dad were, I guess you can say, very adventurous. Kasi yung age gap ng best friend ko, the dad was I think 40, the mom was 30 or 28. So we were, you know what I mean? So we'd go over and there's porn in the VCR. So we watch. Grade 7 pa lang ako, all the boys would go over to this guy's house and we watch. And we look at dirty magazines. Like, I had dirty magazines from my babysitter. So...
Did you ever have sex with your babysitter?
No. Never. But my first sexual...
intercourse.
Not intercourse, but I guess in terms of physical objects or magazines and videos would be Penthouse. Ang nag-click sa akin, aside from the pictures, kasi syempre I was like, what, maybe 10, 11 years old. Imbis na yung pictures, it came to a point, ako sa Madame Xander Hollander, Madame X or
Madame X
or Xander Hollander, basta yung Penthouse.
Oh, okay.
May article yun.
Okay.
And I enjoyed more the actual article.
So while you were reading,
I enjoyed the article more than the visual of the models, because it was Penthouse was medyo hardcore. Playboy, babae lang eh. Penthouse, may lalaki. So I enjoyed reading the article, the sex articles. Yung mga parang,
nakasulat doon.
Parang Serex. So it was all in English. That's what got my mind curious. And it got me going. And then, then making out with one girl and another girl. And then dry humping at the back of the house. But the actual first was grade 8. Very voluptuous woman from the Caribbean.
So not here in Canada?
In Canada,
you were still there?
Went over to her house after school. And syempre, I'm young. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm nervous. Condoms kept on slipping. Syempre, natataranta ako eh.
You already knew that you were gonna have sex with her?
Oh, yeah. We would write letters. We would write letters to each other about what we would do to each other.
Oh, wow.
Even though we have virgins pa kami, we don't have no clue on how to have sex. But we would write the things what we would do to each other. And I still have those letters. Up to this day. I kept every single letter.
So you were there, you went there, nahulog yung condom. And then what happened?
Yeah, because I'm nervous. Nervous, scared. What if I get this girl pregnant? She's very voluptuous, medyo thick. And I don't know what to do. So, dinaan ko na lang because I couldn't get it in because it was maliit eh. Maliit sa akin. Malaki siya eh. So, anong ginawa ko? Dinaan ko sa buffet.
Kinain mo.
And that's when I got the fondness for cunnilingus.
Yeah.
That's
Because
when
that
it all
was like your
started.
first sexual experience talaga.
Because there, she enjoyed. And then, I guess, what I couldn't do with this, I could make up with this.
With your tongue.
Yeah.
So you
Compensated. But that all changed.
How?
Before, kain ako ng kain.
Oh, sige. Mahilig kang kumain.
Yeah, that's the first thing. You know, that's it. That was my forte. That's like
Yun yung signature move mo.
before.
Yeah.
And then I think it was 2011, 2012, or even before then, hindi na ako madalas mag-oral sex. Which, because I became more mindful with my voice.
Trabaho mo yan
Trabaho ko
yes.
to eh. This is my asset eh. So, may nabasa ako na disease, STIs,
Yes.
herpes. So, I remember my station manager always warning me, mag-ingat ka. So, it kind of got into my head. And then finally, we did the news on Michael Douglas. Nag-press con siya. And then, nagsabi siya na he got cancer, throat cancer, and has HPV, or due to
Oral sex. He was
very
Mahilig din siya
promiscuous.
kumain. He likes giving cunnilingus.
He
yes.
got, I guess, HPV and now is going under treatment, which has now been treated. I think he's cured. I don't know, but that kind of mentally screwed me up.
It woke
Natakot
you
na
up.
ako.
Yeah.
Natakot na ako. So, I don't do oral sex.
Oh no.
Yeah. Because I'm very promiscuous, right? I have different.
Yes.
So I just can't. But I'm hearing that there are female condoms, but it's
Yes.
not the same. I don't know.
Or you can try. You can actually get a condom, cut it, and then put it over, and then
It's
you can
not the
try.
same.
It's not the same feeling
the
because
same.
you don't have that,
Yeah, it's not the same.
clit in your mouth.
So now, thanks to unprude.com,
Thank you.
I've invested in toys. And yun na lang ang ano ko.
Yun yung
Safe,
kapalit.
safe, and also, mas magaling ang gadget. Ito, napapagod to eh.
Oo, tas ang gadget battery
hindi.
lang.
Battery charge, boom. And that's how I start off. At least satisfied. Sa umpisa, satisfied na.
So you use the toys
Yeah. At the start.
on the woman first.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you.
Some aren't comfortable. And when they aren't, I still try and see, hey, try this out. Relax. But some aren't still used to
What's
it.
your favorite toy?
I think the bullet. The mini one. I think it with different
Intensities?
speeds.
Yes.
Different speeds.
How do you use it? How do you use it on a woman? Can you please tell our viewers?
Do you have props? Well,
Here.
I think it's just a matter of sinasabay ko with making out, and then making them feel comfortable. If they're comfortable, you reach for it, make it within arm's distance. Nasa kama, habang you guys are, foreplay, making out, you grab it, and then turn it on, having your making out, then you.
Where do you put it?
Just above the clit. Or you probe. And you slowly move it until you have to read her body language. Not a lot of guys read the body language. So, kung gumalaw siya na in a way na, okay, you keep it there. Or, you ask. We're not mind readers, and each woman is built differently. Not all women are. So you have to, ano lang, test.
You have to maneuver. You have
test,
to try
test,
it out.
and you ask.
Yeah.
Is this okay? Is it? Kasi minsan masyadong madiin eh. So, sige, masyado mo dinidiin eh. So you have to ask, do I push it in, lighter, softer, faster? And you just probe and ask questions. Because we're not mind readers, you know?
So what do you want to tell men who don't like using toys? Because they feel that, pwede naman ako eh. Like, I can do that. I can give you pleasure.
I think guys who aren't used to using toys have to be comfortable and experimenting. But first and foremost, it's not there to replace you. Toys are there to enhance your sexual experience. If you can learn to use both, yourself and the toys, I think more girls would be satisfied. Kahit you don't make them come through penetration, but they come through the toys, I think that's okay. I think at the end of the day, we all just want to have them satisfied. Right? We want the girls satisfied. Well, that's my goal.
How will they satisfy you? What's your fantasy?
Different scenarios. Sometimes blowjobs, sometimes being on top, but it's really the auditory. I really enjoy when they're loud, they're vocal, screaming, and not everyone is. Our society is told to make women be mahinhin, quiet, passive in the bedroom, right? So if I can bring that out, that excites me. I enjoy. I'm already enjoying if they're loud. And
fantasy.
Oh man, fantasy right
At
now.
this age, yes.
Uh,
At this age talaga.
I think sa yate. Not inside the room, but
On the deck.
on the deck habang
Gumagalaw.
Hindi ko pa nagagawa yun. I've been inside a yate, but inside. Naka anchor. But I haven't done it on the deck.
Gumagalaw.
Yeah.
Okay. Last question. If you find a woman who can arouse you, who screams in bed, and also understands your job when you go out at night, are you open to being in a committed relationship?
I mean, those two aspects are just one of many that I look at as a green flag. But there are many more components to being in a relationship.
Who's the perfect woman for you?
I'm not looking for anyone perfect.
Ideal?
I don't think I'm even perfect. I think I have a lot of issues that I'm unraveling each day as I go along. I think it's more on being able to understand and communicate. I think if someone's understanding and communicates how I am and not trying to change anyone, I'm not trying to change you, you're not trying to change me, I think it can go the distance. But right now, bachelorhood is who I am, and it's where I'm happy right now. And I think people have to respect that.
Of course.
As much as I respect people who want to be in a relationship and want to have a family, because there are many women that have come and they said, okay, ultimatum. Ano ba tayo? And their friends have even said, ano ba kayo? Ang tagal nyo na ganito, walang nagbabago. So I have to respect them and let them go. And I have conversations where they come to a point where you're fully in, or I will find someone else who will commit. And I have no problem with that. I think I have to respect them wanting something more.
And I
Diba?
think what you said is really good, no? To end this too. It's all about respect. All about respecting who you are as a person and what this person wants, right? And if they don't match, then it's time to let go. And also, when you're ready or if you're gonna be open to a relationship, it's about you not changing and this person not changing and you coexisting
That's right.
in
I-
harmony.
I really believe that it can coexist. It's just wala pa. I believe it can coexist, and I really believe that some people are forced to be in a relationship and they don't really want to, but they're
Yes.
just going through the blueprint of society na may edad na ako.
Kailangan ganito.
Kailangan may
Oo.
bahay, may pamilya, may anak. And then they only to find out it
That
doesn't
it doesn't
work.
work for them. Oh yes.
It doesn't work for everyone.
Yes. Yes.
That template, it's not for everyone. So I want to tell people, you can be happily single. Just be honest. Kung gusto mo maging bachelor or bachelorette, as long as you're laying out your terms, the boundaries are set na, hey, ayoko ng commitment, ayoko ng drama, just want to be single. And also, for those that are in a relationship, you don't have to berate those that are single. Baka happy sila. Di ba? Let them be happy being single. And maybe in the future. But for me, let them be happy being single because they're going through their own marathon.
Journey.
And their journey. And let's be happy for them. You know? Be happy for me, be happy for others. We never question an ex-married person kung single sila. Right? Usually, ay, byuda ako or annulled ako. We never tell them, bakit? Right? We always say, okay. We usually just let them be because dumaan na eh.
Yes.
But for people who have never been married and are single, there's a lot of pressure.
There's still judgment there.
There's a lot of judgment.
Yes.
Family gatherings, Christmas, Valentine's, you name it, barkada. And if you're single, learn to be happy and find happiness in solitude. Do the work, do the inner work. You can be single, but work on yourself at the same time so that you know your strong points
Yes.
and your weaknesses then. And I think I'm like a turtle. Slowly as I go. And that's also been with my career. You know, I started from the ground up. I had no freebies moving from Canada to the Philippines. Ang career ko, it took me 7 years. You know, I've been in industry for 20 plus years. So I think I'm used to just as a slow...
Slow and steady wins the race.
Well,
Yes.
for others, it might be different.
Yes, but that's
You know?
for you.
But let's just be happy for those who are single and enjoying. And if you aren't enjoying being single, I have to question. Because if you aren't happy single, what more will you be with someone? Right? Misery loves company. So learn to be happy being single. Okay lang yan. Enjoy. Travel, meet friends, date, go
Have
out.
sex. Yeah.
Have sex.
Responsibly.
Responsibly. And know your boundaries. Hindi basta-basta kung sino-sino. Just set your boundaries.
I think that's really it. You know yourself, you work on yourself, you be happy who you are, be happy for other people. Wala nang pakialamanan ng trip.
Yeah.
Because we're not hurting anyone. We're here living for ourselves.
Yeah, and I'm not
Right.
perfect. Like you
Yes.
said, am I looking for a perfect person? I'm not looking for anyone perfect because I know that doesn't
It
exist.
doesn't exist.
And if that did exist, I'm sure 100% will be bored.
Yes. Definitely.
We'll be bored.
Yeah. So there's no perfect person. Don't look for anyone perfect too. Because you don't want to be bored.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much,
Thank you, Doc.
Tony. Listen to our private convos weekly here on One News. You can also check out the long conversation on Spotify, YouTube, and Google Podcast. I'm Dr. Rica Cruz. We are One News, all sides, all the time.